Yeah, so again, I think A ranks are completely dead. They are literally letting you custom select if you do lose 50-50 for your A rank. They're letting you have a pick of one of two A ranks to get if you lose 50-50 on the A ranks. That's insane specification.
我们也想进一步优化大家的日常调频体验。
So optimizing your signal search experience, custom search function. When it comes to S rank signals, proxies can choose 6 different S rank agents. So all the standards are here, plus Yanagi, Caesar, and Juyen. And proxies obtain a non-rate up S rank signal from a limited or rerun channel. So not standard. And then you can also do this for the S rank W engines. Again, that's a 75-25. So on average, you're less likely to see these. If you do lose the 75-25, you can select the loss pool.
S 级引擎以及卡池 UP 的 A 级信号也将支持置。
And then yeah, wait, selecting 2 A ranks?
设置完成后，定制的内容会长期生效。
Oh, but then again, no. Because if you lose 50-50 for an A rank, you can get a W engine or you can get an agent. Yeah, you can get either or. So it's really 4 A ranks. So I guess it's not that specific. It's still a 25% chance to get like a specific A rank, but I mean, still pretty. You're able to narrow it down a lot. But yeah, this is not a custom banner. There's still going to be rate ups for A ranks, right? So in Zenless, there's like 2 rate up A rank agents, right? So for example, it's like Nicole Ombi, right? And then on the W engine banner, it's going to be Nicole Ombi's W engines that are rate up. On the character banner, it's a 50-50, right? So 50% chance you get either of the rate up agents, or 50% chance you lose. And then instead of it being just a completely random A rank, now you can choose which A ranks you lose your 50-50 to. So 2 W engines and then 2 agents. Now, if you've been playing the game for a while, since the beginning, you probably have every single A rank M6. Maybe you don't have Monoto M6. Being able to choose the agents that you lose 50-50 to is not that significant, but the W engines are a lot more important for sure. Yeah, if you're free to play, small spender, you might not have a lot of the S rank W engines for characters, and you're forced to use some of the A rank options. And so yeah, having multiple copies of like, I think especially like the support W engine options like Sokaku's, Lucy's, I end up using a lot of these. Like there's some hot garbage here for some of these W engines, but I think it would be beneficial to have like multiple copies, like multiple P5 copies of some of these W engines. So being able to select the 2 W engines is going to be a lot more significant for sure, because again, past M6 of an A rank agent is just a refunded pull. It's all the same, but you can use multiple W engines, so this is probably a lot more significant. You're really able to narrow down your selection here. They're really allowing you to collect every single A rank in the game. Get M6 of A rank that you don't already have M6. After this change, like every single, like you give it a couple updates. Yeah, give it a couple updates. Every single person is gonna have every single agent M6, have all these W engines. This level of control on getting specific A ranks, I really don't see them adding more A ranks. I think this is basically this statement of like, we're not adding more A ranks. Now we're just letting you guys have free reign. Just get all the A ranks that you want. We're moving on. So yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a lot more significant for early game players, right? People who are just starting the game, to be able to like select the A rank agents that you want to get, the A rank W engines that you want to get. But eventually it just doesn't matter. Like eventually it just doesn't really matter, because once you play the game long enough, ideally you just move on past using A rank agents. I can't even remember the last time. Oh no, I can't remember the last time I used an A rank agent was Monoto, but then I pulled Billy, and so now I just don't use Minato anymore. And then before Minato, I think a couple times I used Nicole. A couple times. You quickly move on from A rank agents, because the S rank agents are just that much better. Allowing players to have this kind of control over the specific A ranks that they want to get. Yeah, I think A ranks are dead for sure. Because like, you have to think about it. Like if they were to introduce a new A rank agent, like think Genshin, right? Like Genshin will introduce like a new A rank, or sorry, a 4-star character. If it's like 1 5-star, 1 4-star, they kind of like split up the banners. Like, I mean, traditionally this is how they kind of used to do this. They would split up the 4-star and 5-star, right? The new 5-star would be like on the first phase banners, and then the second phase banners were the reruns, and then they would put the 4-star as the rate up character on those rerun banners, you know, and that way it was like kind of a bait, right? Because it's like, oh, if you want the 4-star character, you have to risk ruining your pity to get the 5-star or whatever, because if you don't get them, then you're gonna have to just hope and pray that you lose a random 50-50 and you get the character, or like you get a random standard pull and they get the character, right? But odds of that are happening are very, very low. And also there's like 3 rate up 4-stars, so that's like even more of a bait, even more RNG. That system sucks, right? That system sucks. Genshin does that, and then they can ruin some pities. They can convince some people to go for the 4-star characters because they make it difficult. They make it difficult to get certain 4-stars. Like you can't exchange for the 4-stars in the shop, and so when they introduce a new 4-star character, because of how difficult they make it to get specific 4-star characters, they can convince some people to spend a good amount of pulls to get those 4-star characters. And also 4-star characters in Genshin, some of them kind of good. Like if Chevreuse got a rate up on a rerun, or like Ian-san, right? There might be a good amount of people who don't have them C6 might be convinced to try to get them C6, because 4-stars in Genshin are pretty solid, pretty good. Can we say the same about Zenless? Not really. Are there really any significant M6 A ranks in the game compared to S ranks? Not really, right? So again, it's very different games, they're very different situations, but looking at this system giving us this amount of control, specificity over what A ranks we can get, I can't imagine Zenless ever introducing a new A rank agent. Maybe a new A rank W engine, maybe that's a possibility. Especially if they add a new like path. I don't know if they will. I mean, they added 2 new elements with wind and the Remiel element, so I wouldn't put it past them to add a new path, you know, besides defense and attack and whatnot. I mean, I kind of doubt it. I wouldn't expect them to add a new path, but maybe they do. But yeah, unless they add a new path, I don't think they'll add another A rank W engine, but we'll see. But yeah, I think this is like the end of A rank agents. I don't think you can clip it. It's like, it's not going to happen. Zenless is not going to add another A rank agent. It's just they made it too easy to get specific A rank agents now, where there's really no value in introducing a new A rank agent when they could just make them S rank and then get people to spend on average 100 pulls to get the S rank agent, rather than potentially a lot of zeros, because of how easy they've made it to get specific A ranks now. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of bad. Like, that's kind of bad, because I think just the power creep issues will continue to get worse in Zenless, right? Like, I mean, for sure you can have a balanced game without new A ranks. It is possible, but boy, it's a lot more difficult for sure. I mean, but I think that's what these games are going towards. Like, this is the path they're going towards. They realize they can be in the good graces of their players by just giving them a lot of rewards and a lot of pulls, and then on the back end they just continue power creeping, and then players will just see, oh, lots of pulls, like we're getting 100 pulls this update, we're getting 120 pulls this update, but then they make like every single S rank better than the last one and another must pull, right? And then like the S rank you just pulled and 2 updates are now just obsolete. That's kind of the route we're heading towards, you know. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to pay attention to that. There already has been a significant amount of power creep in Zenless already to begin with. So I mean, again, power creep is a given. It's always going to happen, but I mean, as long as they can keep it manageable, you know, then it won't be too bad. But we will just have to see. I mean, the topic of power creep is it's an ongoing discussion, right? It never stops. We don't ever like stop talking about power creep. So yeah, we'll see how the ebbs and flows go when it comes to power creep in the coming update. When it comes to the S rank agents, Yanagi, Caesar, and Julian, feels bad. That's all I have to say. It just feels bad. Why do all the older characters get buffs, but then these three are just forgotten completely and just relegated to this instead? Like you even gave the standard characters buffs. You gave Soldier 11 a buff. You gave every standard character they've given a buff to besides Coletta. Now Nekomata and Rina are getting buffs. So like every single one of these characters they've given a buff to, but like these three, you just can't. You're just not gonna bother buffing them, changing them. So yeah, that feels kind of bad. That feels really bad. I mean, again, who's to say they don't buff them in the future? But now it is interesting though that they did buff Jane Doe, even though they're giving her for free in the anniversary, and also you can exchange her. Like she's been available in the shop to exchange for. So I mean, if we extrapolate, maybe that doesn't necessarily mean that like Yanagi, those three characters, Caesar and Julian, maybe it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end for them, but I don't know, kind of doubtful. I mean, it also sucks because it's like, are you just gonna give up on defense agents? Like the only other S rank defense agent is Caesar. There's Zhao and then there's Caesar. Like Zhao like has her niche with Yixin Guang teams, but like hello, Caesar, the only other S rank defense agent. But yeah, which is kind of crazy. Like it's a whole ass like role of agent that seemingly they're just abandoning. Caesar, one of my faves. Mine too. I freaking love Caesar. Caesar's like one of my favorite characters in the game. So it feels really bad. It feels really bad for her to just not get buffed. Like they can't cook something up for the defense role. Do something. Like you like you introduced the role of defense agents. You buffed all the other older characters. Like do something with the defense role. But yeah, for now like we just have this weird defense role in the game for some reason. Weirdly enough, I have all three of these characters. Like, okay, I will say Yanagi, I mean, I don't really play her anymore. You know, she for sure wants a buff, like a damage buff, but her gameplay feels good. No complaints about her in terms of gameplay. Caesar, on the other hand, could use some gameplay updates. I mean, again, the whole defense role could use an overhaul for sure, but especially Julian. Julian needs both. Julian needs a wholesale kit overhaul and also a damage buff. Like, holy, like she is in desperate need of some buffs. Like I would argue more so than Caesar and Yanagi. So this feels extra bad. This feels extra bad that now she's just relegated to 50-50 loss pool. Like they didn't even bother trying to give her at least, I don't know, some kind of damage buffs. That's the thing about buffing older characters. Like it is nice, right? Like of course it feels good when you have a character and then they become stronger. Like you pulled for a character years ago and then they get a buff and then now they're like relevant. Like that feels good. But then it feels even worse for the characters they don't buff. You know, namely these three. Imagine people pull M6 Julian, they'd be dying. Yeah, right? Like feels extra bad for those who like pulled extra copies for them and whatnot. So but yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks. I would have loved to have seen Caesar and Julian get buffs, but it seems like at this point it might not happen.